Hey everyone, welcome back to Triple R Reefer. Today's video, I might make two videos, but I did want to make this video on how to mix fish, and more specifically wrasses. But the thing is that I want to make sure I kind of explain wrasses because a lot of people love to mix wrasses. Tangs, I have done a video on how to add a bunch of tangs to your tank. That is essentially add a bunch at one time. So real quick, I wanted to say this. I've been watching some of my videos and I'm not sure if any of y'all have felt this. I'm sure you have. Maybe you're just being super nice about it. But I have noticed that I say and a few other things way too much. I'm watching my video and I'm saying to myself, what are you doing? Stop saying that. Jeez. So it was really frustrating me. And so I'm going to try. It's I don't know if it's just something that you do when you're rambling on. But I'll pause a little bit more and hopefully not be as annoying. Wow, super frustrating. Not gonna lie, I'm sitting there wanting to punch myself through the phone or through YouTube. Bear with me. Hopefully I just didn't bring light to that and now you're gonna notice me doing it, but maybe I'll be better at it. Who knows? All right, so the mixing wrasses, that is gonna be fairly easy, I would say. The trick is to buy wrasses that are, first of all, not, man, I don't want to use the wrong word here. Dickheads? There we go. Some wrasses, they've got a name for a reason, okay? They've got these fishes eating their own doo-doo. Gross. They've earned reputations. So first things first, 6-line wrasse, do not bite. I'm telling you, there's an awesome wrasse for frag tanks. They are pest control masters. Great fish for a single wrasse only tank. And generally speaking, I've seen this, I can't tell you how many people I know. They will, if they're added first, they will kill damn near anything you add after that. I'm talking tangs. These are some of the meanest fish I've ever seen. I can't express that enough. Do not put a 6-line wrasse in your tank, in your reef tank. If you want to add other wrasses, and in general you want to add other fish later, that is the spawn of Satan. You can't convince me otherwise. Some of them are nice, but let's talk about risk versus reward. Huge risk, reward, good pest control, but there's other good guys out there for that. All right, so first of all, again, don't pick the dickhead wrasses, okay? Sometimes it's tempting. They're sometimes a little bit cheaper, but you're going to pay for that. There's my first I think. All right, so picking wrasses of the same, what is it? Species. Not species. Damn it. The scientific names of them. So you have leopard wrasses. You have your Halichoris wrasse. You have Ross. It's because you're thinking in your head. All right. Amsis wrasses. Those. So there's a pretty good photo out already of how to mix wrasses. One thing I'll say is it's not always exact. So, for example, I've got plenty of leopards in here. Generally, those are okay to mix, but I've got one that's just being a jerk. There's not a for sure way to mix wrasses, I guess is my point there. If you're gonna mix them from species to species, generally you can get away with it, but when you start getting into the same family, like this guy here, he's the super male lineatus, and then my pintail, same family, a fairy wrasse. Both of these guys I would consider males. He's got some beautiful colors and would say that he's Definitely a terminal male. So those guys bicker a lot. It's not, look at him, he's chasing a leopard. There you go. There's a good little, I guess, show for you. You can add multiple fairy wrasses. My trick, like most tricks I've mentioned, is to mix them at the same time and to add more than one. Having one fish to pick on makes it a whole lot easier to have those fish eventually perish from being either injured or not getting enough to eat. I feed this tank, I've said this before, crazy amounts of food. Probably will never be the case for these fish. So that being said, mixing them together and multiple wrasses at the same time. I'll say this real quick. I've got 3 fairies in here. I honestly thought my favorite one, as far as personality, I was petting him earlier. Let me see if I can do it now. Come on up here, Betty. Let's see. Where is he at? I can get my hand over here. Anyway, not scared at all. Pintail lets me do it sometimes too. I'm petting your fish. That's kind of silly. That guy was probably going to get killed. I thought so, at least. But after a little while, they figured it out. They figured out who's going to be the alpha in the tank and who's going to have to kind of let them be the bully of the tank, I guess. So that being said, when should you intervene? I'm going to say generally give it some time. However, if you see a fish getting pinned, absolutely marked on, just beat up, you have to intervene. There is no, hey, they'll figure that out. Little squabbles, little chasing is one thing. Chasing constantly is another, where they just won't stop chasing them. The stress alone on that fish is going to kill them. I haven't seen that in any of these fish yet, besides the little blue star leopard with that leopard I put in there. And I generally probably wouldn't have intervened in that one. However, it was being that it was a brand new fish, and I didn't know if it was going to make it. First of all, I had to really make a decision on reducing the stress as much as possible to give that fish a chance. He's doing great down in the sump right now. Still haven't seen the other guy. That sucks. But he seemed to be the strongest of all of them, actually. And he dove down right here, back by that Recordia. Maybe he'll come out, maybe he won't. They can stay in the sand for like a week. I've seen them longer than that, but generally that's when I would get concerned. That's another note real quick. If you have sand burrowing wrasses, don't go looking for them. They will come out eventually. I promise you, if you go looking for them, you're going to extend their time in the sand and probably end up killing them. Do not go trying to dig up a wrasse. Let's see, what else? Acclimation box. I have an acclimation box from Melanars Reef. It's awesome to have. I didn't use it for whatever stupid reason. It was because I wasn't sure if he was going to make it, and I wanted him to be able to go straight in the sand. On the leopards, that is. An acclimation box is awesome to have. If you can use an acclimation box, that's going to give you even extra chance to not only make that fish or have that fish a better chance of surviving, but also they'll be accepted a little easier. You know, hey guys, here's a stranger. Good luck. One fish, well, your chances are getting lower. These fishes are gonna say, hey, we got a new guy here. Let's all go check him out. Let's stress him out. And there's some pretty little badasses in here. That powder blue, he's actually okay, I would say, but he's the first one to go, what's up? and having those guys checking that fish saying, hey, what's going on, is doing nothing but stress them out. So put them in an acclimation box, give them some time to get to know each other, if you will, is a key to success in adding fish to really an established reef tank with a lot of fish in it. That's probably a really good point. Okay, there's another some fish I would say is probably good not to add in my tank, and maybe make them towards the end, would be the Melanars. He's been a model citizen, but generally they can be that dickhead fish I was talking about, the asshole. So be careful with that guy. And then any male fairy wrasse, I actually recommend buying female fairies. They're cheaper, they're going to live longer, and generally speaking, because I've had one that was quite the ridiculous wrasse, generally speaking, those wrasses, when you buy a female wrasse, are not going to be as aggressive as a male. I think that's really it on adding wrasses. It's kind of hit or miss, but I promise if you stick to Acclimation Box, adding multiples at a time, your chances of success are going to go up. I don't care if your tank is 400 gallons. Fish already have their place in that tank, and anyone is a stranger. They'll already be checked on and either accepted or not. So just be ready, have a plan to catch that fish if you need to. I'll mention real quick, if you can, it's a lot harder. I caught that leopard wrasse very simple because it was brand new to the tank, pinned to the edge of the tank, and wasn't going to be in the rocks anyway. But if you can, catch the aggressor. The bully is the one that is saying, hey, this is my territory. What you doing down there, buddy? Look at him. Man, such a pretty fish. Alright. If you can catch the aggressor, that will be the best thing you can do in a situation like that. Give them some time to settle out. I always use the sump, put them in the sump for a little bit, and then I'll put them in the acclimation box for a day or so, and then the bully will go back in the main display, usually with no issues. I've sumped a purple tang probably 10 times. He's a huge, I called him the unit. He was probably 7-8 inches, and my Red Sea 750 I had. Huge tang. And he was the boss. He would bully around, but when he got stupid, I'd sump him. So anyway, real quick. The perfect trap, in my opinion, is the bubble trap by Tank Mates. Guy's name is Nick that owns it. Awesome guy. If you got to catch a fish, the bubble trap to me is the best. I've got several traps. I've tried a lot of traps, and the bubble trap is great because you feed it, pull a little thing, it's clear. I don't know. They're just not as scared of it. Don't get me wrong, some fish are, but it's generally the best one. All right, everyone. I appreciate y'all watching this video. Hopefully I got my ums down to maybe 20. So, sorry, there's a little more chasing I'm watching. Down to something more manageable. I will work on that. God, I can't believe I was doing that. But I do appreciate y'all liking, commenting, subscribing to my videos. People have been so interactive, commenting. My last video they had mentioned cameras as a redundancy. Such a good idea. I have one right over there. You can see it. And I monitor my tank when I'm on vacation. Every now and then, gotta check on my baby. So, thanks again, everyone. See you on the next one.